One of my greatest strengths is attention to detail. I notice the little things, and that ability has allowed me to accomplish a lot in my life, from being able to successfully roadmap projects and initiatives at work to being able to get a fairly accurate read on people, both in an individual and in a group setting. I'm really thankful for that ability. The biggest thing, though, that I've noticed being a detail-oriented person is that I can sometimes think too far ahead. I can get caught at a crossroads, and instead of moving forward, can get caught up with formulating different scenarios in my head, trying to figure out what could or couldn't go wrong. While there is value to being cautious and astute, there is something to be said about being aware of trying to predict what could happen in the future. So one of the things that I've been working on this year is to try to stay a little bit more present. And I have this little forward phrase that I remind myself of that I wanted to share with you that I thought could help you. And that is stay in the timeline. That just literally means stay where you are. You might be looking at a decision, or you might be looking at an objective or initiative. You might have an idea of what you want it to be and what the potential risk could come. But don't get so fixated on what could or couldn't go wrong in a way that it paralyzes you, in a way where it keeps you from being able to make a decision, or it causes you to make a preemptive decision that was unnecessary. So what are some practical ways to stay in the timeline? One of the things that I have told myself is to try to just let things play out. And I know for people that are hearing that, it could cause a little bit of a panic. Let it play out. Well, yeah, sometimes there's value in just allowing things to play out, even if you know that there's a potential risk factor. To be clear, I'm talking about scenarios where emergency is not involved. Sometimes there's value in just allowing things to play out. And in those scenarios, you can either learn a lesson, or the people that are involved in that project or initiative or situation could learn a lesson too. And either way, you're able to gain value from that experience. And sometimes what takes place goes beyond the scope of what you predicted. Imagine that. The other thing that I try to do is to try new things. Whenever I try something new or challenge myself to get out of my comfort zone, it forces me to relinquish any sense of control. It forces me to kind of stay more in the present. So like content creation, for example, that is absolutely forcing me to stay in the present now versus other things that I'm familiar with, like my music. I'd say challenge yourself, get outside of your comfort zone. That'll help you to stay in the timeline. And then I would also reflect. I would take time to reflect and look at the different scenarios that you're in. I would challenge yourself to ask yourself some questions. In the scenarios that I was in, did I overthink and preempt? And if I did, what happened? And allow myself to kind of let the result kind of inform me. A scenario like that where maybe I made a decision a little bit too preemptively, or I kind of reacted too quickly, prematurely, being able to look back on that and go, oh, I could have waited a little bit longer. It's good for me to be able to do that. It allows me to take that and apply it to a future situation. I hope that that's helpful for you. I know that it can be really difficult, especially being a detail-oriented person, to relinquish control. The reality is that control of the past, present, and future, it's all an illusion. Only God has control. And being able to acknowledge that, I'm learning as someone who is detail-oriented, can allow you to have peace and it allow you to be present, because our life is short. I hope that's helpful.